Joining me now is the Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi from Illinois. He's the member of the House Intel Oversight and Reform Committees. Congressman, good morning to you. Thank you for being with us. It's good to see you, as always. Let's pick up exactly where I left off with Hugo. It's not theoretical. The stuff that Donald Trump has been saying, the dangling of pardons, the encouragement of the language he uses with his supporters, the idea that we have 5 senatorial candidates, Republican candidates, who are a little bit wackadoodle, and states like Arizona and Pennsylvania, which are on the line with gubernatorial candidates who are election deniers. This isn't theoretical. All of this stuff is actually real and potentially dangerous in 2 months from now.
That's right. I think that with the dangling of the pardons, one thing that we talked about repeatedly during the Trump administration when he was president was that he often did this as a signaling tool to keep people quiet. And I think that this might even be a signaling tool toward people who might cooperate with the January 6th committee, with the Justice Department and any number of investigations of him, or even the Georgia or New York proceedings. And then secondly, I think you're absolutely right. He is trying to he's gone full MAGA at this point. He has decided that he's going to deny that he committed any wrongdoing or call whatever he did in terms of wrongdoing justified. And he's going to get people so riled up in his corner that I fear that they're going to commit violence. And this kind of use of political violence potentially is even more dangerous to our republic right now.
Let me ask you about the search on Mar-A-Lago and the politicization of it. There are a lot of people now saying that at the very least it's a technical breaking of the law that should be pursued. I think as an Intel committee person, you'd say it's much more serious than that. It's not the technical breaking of the law. It's the idea that there might be names and sources who are out there. But there are others who say whatever it is that gets Donald Trump prosecuted is going to lead to major, deeper fissures in our political system. How do you address that fear?
I think the Justice Department and the FBI have to do their jobs outside of any other considerations. But going to your initial point, this is not a case of an overdue library book. This is not sloppy bookkeeping. This is a staggering refusal and willful retention of hundreds of classified documents, often containing exquisite information bearing on our national security. I think the biggest theme here, Ali, is how do we guard our national security? And how do we guard it when a former president willfully refuses to treat classified documents properly and then resists returning them when he's specifically asked to do so? And so that is a huge problem. And then, of course, we're conducting simultaneously a damage assessment with regard to how those documents may have damaged our national security and what we can do to mitigate that and prevent it from happening in the future.
Congressman, let me ask you about this mystery around these files that were found, empty files. They had top secret or, designations on them. It was fascinating to see the photographs that came out of the inventory that these are not, there's no chance you could mistakenly have taken these things out of the White House thinking that maybe they contained other things. That said, intelligence experts have said don't make too much of the fact that these files were found empty because it's quite likely that they were used for transportation and that the stuff therein or that was therein, the 10 or 11,000 documents that were found were just separate from the files. I know that you're an Intel committee guy, so you can only tell me so much without killing me. But what do you make of that analysis?
We're not going to kill you, Ali. So the issue here is we just don't know the answer to the question of what was in those empty file folders. But there are dozens and dozens, I think more than 40 that had the classified document banner on them. We don't know what was supposed to be in those documents based on the published reports, but there's also dozens and dozens, I think more than 40 folders that said return to military aid. So that obviously suggests that there were documents related to defense matters. And I think that's what is connected to that statute that's invoked in the warrant with regard to the Espionage Act. That's the willful retention, concealment, or destruction of documents related to defense matters. And when you then say that many of these are top secret or TSSCI, the highest classification of intelligence, that's what gets people's eyebrows raised and people very, very concerned about the situation.
You've had to look. Have you had occasion to look at TSS SC files? Like that process is not. This would not end up at your house accidentally.
No. I've never reviewed any of these except in a secure facility underneath the Capitol, in a bunker guarded by armed police officers. And also, they take inventory of these documents. They have people standing, watching as you review these documents to make sure they retrieve them upon completion of the review. They are often related to covert programs, human intelligence sources, the electronic monitoring of foreign communications and the like. So this is what's called the most exquisite of intelligence that the intelligence community keeps.
Congressman, good to see you. Thank you for being with us, especially on this Labor Day weekend. Congressman Roger Krishnamurthi of Illinois.
Happy Labor Day.